Talking Luther College softball with head coach Renee Hartle, and coach, with the weather, something you got to deal with every year. You ended up having 7 days off between competition. Is there maybe a little bit of good and maybe a little bit of not so good in that?
I think the good was our bodies were fresh, and we've gotten a lot of BP in and a lot of good hitting reps in that week, and but the pitchers have gotten some rest too, and so I think it was actually a good thing for us.
And he came back yesterday, had a doubleheader sweep over Buena Vista. 5-3 game in game number one. The timely hitting that wasn't there in game number one definitely was in game number two with 11 two-out runs.
Yeah, it was. I think that we had a lot of great hits. I think we had 15 hits in game one, but only 5 runs, and so we didn't get that two-out hit like we normally have been getting in game one. But to get a great pitching performance out of Amanda, and some good defensive plays there, it was nice to get game one. In game two, it was still a really heated game, I thought, until that last inning, and we did get some timely hits there.
You called it a heated game. Temperature obviously wasn't that well. How challenging was that to play yesterday?
It was challenging. It was bad. We had about a 45, 50 mile per hour wind in our face most of the time. The snow that came down in the first game wasn't on the radar when I brought them in the morning, but it was great to see our girls tough it out and decide if they're going to play in it, we might as well play well and we might as well win. So they did a great job with it.
And your 3 pitchers all performed pretty well. Obviously, Amanda Witzlib, she's just getting better as the season goes on. And in game 2, Versnick, the starter, Skiles, the reliever, both kind of thrived in a new role for now, at least.
They did. They both threw real well, and then I was really impressed with Annie's start. She hasn't had a start in several weeks, and so that was a great start for her. And then to bring in Topanga behind, I think was a great combination. Our defense didn't take care of the ball like they could have behind Topanga, but they will next time.
You don't get to 32-2 to 10-0. We can talk about stats, we can talk about impressive numbers, but there's other stuff that goes into it. What's maybe some things that folks don't notice on the surface as a reason that you're at where you're at right now?
Well, I think that when things aren't going right, you kind of look to the leadership a lot of times, and what you don't do when things are going well is recognize the leadership. But the seniors on our team are doing an incredible job. But Kristen Winter and Elise Miller and Katie Whelan and even Hill and Rose on the bench still right now. But they're just doing an incredible job. But to have them lead us in every single way, not just in the statistics, but in practice every day and in our weightlifting session that we're going to have this afternoon, I think that group is doing an incredible job.
And young players stepping up for you. We've talked about Ashley Burrows, Anna Streen filling roles that maybe they weren't expecting to this year. And how about Natalie Stockman yesterday, a big 3-run homer?
I know, and it was hard to pull the trigger because Lindsay was 2 for 2, and but we know what kind of hitter Lindsay is, and we also know what kind of hitter that Natalie can be. So for her to go in game 1 and have that nice RBI hit to spark us was great, and then to have her do the same thing. We got some great production out of that 9 spot yesterday, and so to have those two, combine for that number of times getting on base, it was pretty incredible.
And this weekend, obviously going to be a busy weekend, 3 dates in 4 days coming up. Dubuque at home, then at Central, and then the makeup date against St. Mary's. What's the approach to the remaining 3 regular season playing dates?
Well, I think we're going to get to see some quality pitching over those three doubleheaders, and that's exactly what this team needs going into a conference tournament or potentially going into an NCAA regional. And so I'm really happy that those are the 3 opponents that we get to play in those last 4 days of playing, because I think it's going to be a great prep for us in every way.
All right. Hopefully the success can continue this weekend. We wish best of luck.
Thank you, Darren.
Renee Hartle talking Luther College softball.